Oh yes, I like that. I'm a bit nervous. It's still frustrating. They really don't fall out. That's about 1,000 times. Oh, I'm so happy. Hi and welcome. I'm Claudia and I document my projects here on YouTube. And this is the start of a big one. I am sewing a Vivienne Westwood inspired ball gown. This actually started a while back when I had a phase where I really was into historical fashion and I actually adored the silhouette of the 1650s and made stays. But I never got over the mock-up stage. So the mock-up was finished, it was ready. But somehow interests faded, other things came up and I never really worked on it again. I had ideas, but it never really like that. And back then I also bought beautiful fabrics at liquidation of a hotel. And then when I recently just looked through my illustrated book of Vivienne Westwood's collection, it hit me. Let's do a Vivienne Westwood inspired ball gown with the stays. I already had the mock-up and this beautiful fabric. And in this episode I'm going to show you how I adapted the stays into a modern look. So let's start by putting on the old mock-up. I think if they're a bit smaller, the difference between the hip and the waist is even more pronounced. What I really don't like, I feel very restricted here. So I'm going to open these seams and make it smaller by 3 centimeters on each side. Now that I have the stays in front of me, I'm thinking not of changing this pattern because this sits very nicely on my hips and in my waist. I'm going to shorten this one in the back. I'm going to take out this bone and make it smaller here. This pattern is actually from a little book called Corsets and Crinolines, and I scanned it and then printed it out like 200 times bigger or something, and then adjusted it and made it bigger and smaller. I think this is like the second or third mock-up. So let's put it on again. I have a mirror here, that's why I'm always looking there. Oh yes, I like that. The waist reduction, it's far better. Also, if I want to wear it without a big skirt, I think it's very nice. I also like how it sits up here, but I have to do something here. Let's say up to where the t-shirt is. That's a good point. And then I'm gonna make just here a nice curve then that goes flat in the back, and I'm gonna cut away the back as well. And in the end I want also that it closes in the back. I'm quite certain I don't want it any lower. I think this is good because with that I can still bend and do stuff and dance. Good, let's make those alterations. I'm a bit nervous about cutting away the back. Let's start with the back. Alright, now I can also tell you about my plan. Here the mock-up is actually polyester boning, but I saw in my local craft store that they have like reed, and I want to fill the final garment with reed because I think this will be a bit more comfortable to wear, because I'm always sweating quite a lot if I wear plastic and it's very uncomfortable for me. Now that I've done that, let's add this triangle I was speaking about. I have this fabric, which is a bed linen that's quite sturdy. I'm gonna take it double and then lay it to the underside. I'm starting up here because I want to put that inside and see how it looks as well afterwards. I secured it, got rid of the excess fabric, and now I'm going to try it on. Just push that inside like that, see if it fits, if I want here to do something else. I'm only doing it on one side and see how it looks, and if I think it's good, then I don't have to do the other side. It nearly falls out, and here it's a lot better. I have to think about how I want this edge to sit. I actually do like it when it is this square. So I like it when it is like this, I think. Yeah. Could be a bit annoying as well. I think this is how far I want to go. I like the back. It is here a bit tight, but I mean that's normal. You have a bit of squishiness. Just secured what I want here. This little edge. And I'm gonna disassemble the whole thing and make a pattern, and then I can do my next mock-up, which will be the final mock-up before I can make the final garment. Now that the pattern is ready, I can do the next mock-up, but I'm missing the reed, so I'm gonna shop for that and gonna combine that with a walk with my dog. Before the sponsor goes to sleep, he would like to remind you to subscribe, because Claudia is doing a really great job with her videos. Nighty night! So, I'm back. I have to read, so now I can start on the mock-up. I'm first gonna cut out all my pieces. I need every piece twice. 2 pieces of fabric. Now, last but not least, we need this one. I'm going to add boning channels now, and to make my life easier and also the whole project a bit faster, I'm going to use the boning I already used in my last mock-up as far as I can, and make these big boning channels, and then for the final thing I am going to use the flat reed. Before I start with sewing the boning channels, I measure out how to align this little piece. So later on I don't have to measure, I just can sew along this line. For that I have here my piece I already did, and I put this thing just on the line. And then I test if that is fine. And as you see, the line is nicely next to the other one. It is important when you sew the channels, the boning channels, that you go from one side to the other. With that you ensure that there will be no puckering and that everything lies flat, because if you start first here and then here, it can come to puckering in the middle. I have here all my pieces, and I'm gonna use the bones of the old mock-up to bone these, and then I can sew it together. Good morning! Another day has started. It's the next day and I finished my pieces yesterday evening, so they are ready to be assembled. Let's start with the very noisy part of adding the rivets. Right now it's like this and I want it like this. Also below here there is some gaping because there is a curve in the pattern, but I don't need it. Yes, so I'm going to take it off and get rid of the curve here in the front. But else I think the alterations I did down here are really nice. I also like the shape, but more on that when I did the alterations. I'm happy how it sits. It is really comfortable. Fine, let's go and make the real thing. Wow. I'm like, oh, now I'm really doing it. Now I have to decide what fabric to use for the stays. I need something quite sturdy. I think this one could work. This is too light. This would work. I think this yellow would also work. I have now 3 possibilities. I'm gonna use the yellow one. I think, even though I really like this one, the yellow one is very suitable to the main fabric, I think. I have cut out all the fabric pieces and now I'm testing for the boning channels. This flat reed is supposed to be 4 mm, but it's 5, so I'm going to make the channel 6 mm wide. First I just drew a line and I'm gonna stitch that down. Let's measure the width of my foot. If I sew in the middle is 7.5. I can put my needle to this point and then it will be 6 mm. Let's see if that works, and then I'm also trying one where I put the needle one more to the left. Now let's see if that worked. Ooh, that's hard. Next one. Oh yes, yeah, okay. I tested it and the 6 mm is too small. I'm going with the, I think it's 7 mm or 6 mm and some. So the point of the needle is 2 to the right from the middle. Good morning, it's the next day. Yesterday I worked about 2 hours and sewed a lot of boning channels and then stopped when I had to open half of this side again because I changed where the needle sits on the machine and forgot to change it back. Yeah, I knew this would happen because I know myself, but it's still frustrating when it does. And today with fresh eyes I start again and do more rows, I guess. What I haven't decided is how to make the end piece here where the rivets go in. I'm really struggling how to do that. I think I'm gonna do some research. I found a solution. I'm going to sew this line shorten this seam allowance and then push that over. So it will be over the eyelets, and then the eyelets go through 3 layers of fabric. And I think with that I have sturdy stays. Let's start with the boning process. Now, for boning, the reed has like 2 sides, a flat side and a round side. And I want the flat side to be inside and the round side to be outside. And the inside of the garment is this side where the machine stitched from the top. I start by cutting away the sharp edges. And it looks like that. And then I just push it through. Cut it to length from up above. Take it out a little again. To also round the edges here, same way as below. No sanding, I don't think it's necessary. And that about 1,000 times. All the pieces are done, all the boning is inside, and I went ahead and trimmed down all the seam allowance on the inside. The next step is to iron these edges around so that I can slip stitch them with some thread, because I'm going to sew them together by hand. Good morning! This is the last day of crafting. I have to insert the eyelets and test it on my body. I hope it works and nothing falls out. And worst case scenario, I still have my stays where I tried it out and I could use those. It's not what I really want. I want to use the nicely done one from this week, but good, then we'll see each other again in the reveal. Let's put it on. Wow, it's so beautiful and it's so comfortable. It's far more comfortable than with the plastic, and also in the profile. I really love it. Oh, I'm so happy. Gosh. So cool! Let's measure my waist. 76 centimeters. I think normally it's like 81, so nearly 5 centimeters, like about 2 inches. Wow! And I feel really comfortable. I can still move, like dancing, Wow. Jumping, so that's really cool. And yeah, if you're still watching, it is likely you're a subscriber, and thank you so much for 111 subscribers by today. I was so happy when we reached 100, and I'm so looking forward to 1000 and doing more great videos and interesting content. So see you in the next one, where I'm sewing a crinoline because this dress needs a skirt. Bye bye!